Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another scene set in a Desert Dark Crusade Season 2. As another day passes by the citizens of Odessa, many days in fact. 4, to be precise, as a rather motley trio of Cainites, 2 Ancile and a neonate, have ventured forth from the gates of the great domain of Odessa to take a rather substantial journey. A 4-day journey. To a long forgotten place. Veritable ruin. Very old ruin. So old that it's barely even a ruin anymore. So decayed and worn down by time that it's barely anything more than just another part of the desert now. As Solahdrin, Eirene, and Madelain have managed to make their way to this place. Not with a not insignificant amount of preparation. Deals, booms, and negotiations have been made and had to ensure that they can make it to this place safely. And that when they do, it will be safe. Will not be in any immediate danger, and even if they are, they'll be able to defend themselves. They'll have a fighting chance. Of course, that is assuming that there is any threat here at all. Why come to this long-forgotten place? Why come to this ruin? It is of no significance to the mortals. The mortals don't even know it exists. And even if they did, they probably wouldn't care. So, the 3 Cainites, as night falls, they wake up inside their caravans. The drivers, they come to a stop. The security force, the guardsmen, mercenaries, who have been, shall we say, employed for this particular endeavor, have circled around. They've set up a camp. And they have set up just about an hour outside of the ruin. And they begin to rotate in and out of shifts to keep the peace. But just before, about an hour before they'll leave, Madelain provides some services to Solahdrin and Eirene. So again, prepare them and ensure their safety should the worst come to pass. But once that hour is up, they begin to make their way towards the ruin, Ebla. And you're all walking. Yes?
Very closely, yes.
So, it quickly becomes apparent just how dark it is. only due to the fact that there is no light source here other than the moonlight, and it is quite cloudy tonight. It is very dark.
Oh, what will we do?
You know the general direction to the.
Well, I know for a fact that Madelain, probably also Irene's, really don't have a problem with this.
I know at least two of you don't. Funnily enough, the one I'm worrying about is the neonate. But
Yeah.
If you want, Solahdrin can walk through this entire counter blindfold. That could be funny.
yeah, you can literally do that. It is, however, just being within civilization for so long, it is a little bit jarring just how dark it gets. And the fact that the ruins are very low-lying, they don't stick out of the scenery, don't stick out of the landscape at all. Which means they're fairly difficult to spot. In fact, you spent more or less half the last day just looking for some sign of these particular ruins. It's not like they're on any maps. But usually they're a bit more distinctive than this.
Well,
But you know where you're going. You have spotted it. You're just heading towards it. Nothing appears out of place right now. Eirene,
mm-hmm.
are you just following these two? You seem to know where they're going.
They seem to know what they're doing. Irene can't see shit here. Well, I mean, she can see shit, but not as well.
In complete darkness, you just suffer a +2 difficulty to see things.
Yeah.
So you can see things immediately close to you. You just you can't see that much more than a few feet in front of you.
Yeah, she stick very close to the others. But she also kind of tries to let her, like if her feeling kind of pulls her into a completely different direction than these two, then she might just go with that. But other than that, she will definitely stick very close to the two elders. To her, not elders.
As you approach, over the course of about the latter half of an hour, would everybody like to roll me perception awareness upon approach?
How many more is it again?
You gain 3 dice.
I assumed those aspects kick in for this.
If you have it on.
I was going to turn it on, so yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine. This is over the course of like latter half of an hour, so you have plenty of time, and you're at no risk of overstimulation.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a shitty roll.
Wow.
Okay, so
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so Madelain sees nothing at all. No. You get more ones than you have extra dice, which is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would have been a botch if it weren't for those extra dice, by the way. You got the 1/6 from that extra dice. That would have been a botch of 4 degrees if you hadn't those extra dice. However, we'll start with the person who got 1 success.
Yay!
There is a sudden change of atmosphere here. It does feel it feels very, for lack of a better term, it feels very morbid here.
Okay. I mean, we'll get a little closer to Madelain and Solahdrin.
Solahdrin, you got 4 successes. Like Eirene, you sense that is quite morbid here, but it comes in, to you it feels more like a presence rather than just a general tone. Less of an after effect or something that came after the fact, or more like almost like you're feeling the presence of someone or something nearby.
Solahdrin kind of stops. It's almost like he's scenting the air, so like taking deep breaths into his nose. But his head kind of bobs to the side. Those of you who are looking at him will see him put one hand over his eye. Rank 1 Farm Path is difficulty 4, isn't it, Bishop? It's been a while since I've done this. It's 3+ level.
Yes, it's 3+ your level.
And you'll hear him whisper something under his breath in a language that's completely unintelligible to any of you. But what he says is, pathways of duat, the judges, open your view, be clear to me. As I basically turn on Revelations of Duat rank 1 to see ghosts and wraiths and spirits.
One second, because I just want to double check. Because he said wraiths and ghosts and spirits. Did you see all of them or just some of them? I don't know.
Really weird, because it doesn't actually define what it sees. It says ghosts, but ghosts aren't a thing.
Ghosts are, funnily enough, in Wraith lore, just shit wraiths.
Essentially, yeah. But, you know, I believe the path is intended to see the dead, one way or the other.
It is intended to see the dead. So yeah, you see ghosts and wraiths is what you see. If you turn on, as you alter your view to shift between planes. You don't see the dead. That's not what you see. There are no ghosts here. There are no wraiths here. There are no spirits of departed here. If they were here, would you be willing to wager that they at some point were? They've most assuredly moved on. But as you kind of peer into the duet, it is very, very thick. It's funny enough, it's almost because you can see or you can sense the physical world around you just fine. But what you see is blackness and shadows in the forms of living spaces. Almost like you see a town as it once was. But it's very ethereal. It seems to almost flicker in and out of view. It's
from the perspective
like looking through the air. It's almost like looking through very hot air. It's very wispy.
From the perspective of the player, I'm basically seeing this side reflected as it is reflected in the Shadowlands.
Basically.
Cool. Because all places
normally you wouldn't be able to do this. Because this is not normally what your eyes do, and you know that.
He kind of, he stops, and he crouches very low, to the ground. He puts one hand on the ground. And he, once again, it's like he's sniffing the air, almost canine-like. As something is...
You're sniffing the air. It smells very acrid here. It smells acrid and how to say? I'm trying to find a word for it. Smells of smoke. Kind of smells like something's been burning. It's kind of a pungent, smoky smell. Noxious.
As he
Almost
stands,
miasmic, but there's no smoke here.
as he stands up, you'll see the fact that his body is now covered from head to foot in scales that glint. In what you can perceive as the moonlight, obviously shielded from the eyes of the world, and he will whisper. How would he phrase this? This place is still haunted by the hands that smote it low a very long time ago. It still burns in the fires of the siege that destroyed it, or the ritual that took place here. Secret, secret, yes, it is. We are also not the only ones here. Rather, this is somebody else's home, and we are their guests.
Madelain will just whisper, then let's go introduce ourselves.
If you wish, sister. Yeah, I think we're going to trudge on, Chris.
Trudge on. You begin to make your way into the town. Or what's left of it. Well, very little there is left of it. It's mostly just rubble. Most of it aren't even most of it isn't even discernible as what was once there. There's no really significant pattern to things. It's just been so worn down by time and just been so completely irrevocably destroyed that it's kind of hard to tell what was meant to be where, what was meant to be a pathway or a roadway, where buildings were, what the buildings looked like, what they were meant to be. It's very difficult to discern these things just based off of how worn down and broken down everything is.
Can I still see the ghostly reflection? Because I think that lasts until I turn it off.
You can, yes. You see the you see the walls modest as they were. As you pass the walls, as it's just an intangible landscape. You see the buildings. You see the homes. You see the palace. You, for lack of a better term, see everything. You see the roadways, you see the pathways, you see the marks left by the animals, by the people. You see the shops, the stalls, the homes. And you see it slowly falling apart.
All right. I'm going to do something that might... Hey, guys, do you want to do something suicidal?
I mean, you're here, aren't you?
I mean, I am. Solahdrin is going to drop the obfuscate cloak. At which point he is going to sit cross-legged in the middle of the. He's going to sit cross-legged in the middle of the, like, if we could find like a big public market square where like the central point would be.
Okay. Right.
Cool.
Ultimately, would you rather someone snuck into your home or They came and they spoke to you.
So where are we? Like,
Currently, we're in the market square of Ebla proper. You will see he'll take off. He's going to be wearing a little backpack that he has stuff in just in case you needed it. You know, like paper and all the other little kind of amenities. You know, in case we were caught out or whatever else have you, because it makes sense. So,
Yes.
Bishop, what I'm going to do is
Mhm.
scavenging around. I'm going to start a little fire, just like a little fire there, and he then takes out a ceremonial bowl, and you see him cut his wrist. I'll beat a point of blood into it. And he is going to make, because this is like the most Egyptian thing I can think of to do, he is going to make an offering of the blood to the spirits. Because, you know, obviously we believe in the whole concept of the two worlds mixed together. So one way or the other, even if it has no effect whatsoever, this is not a ritual. This is just Evan doing what he believes is roleplay gaff for his character. But he will give the offering of the blood to the spirits.
Okay.
And he is, yeah.
Roll me intelligence occult. Please don't botch this roll. And by that,
I'll spend a willpower.
really do botch it.
Nope.
Also,
I'll spend a willpower. Watch it. Fuck yourself.
Yep. As you do that, both Madelain and Solahdrin see Eirene sitting down, muttering to her crucifix, and you all feel extraordinarily uncomfortable. You feel repulsed from her.
sure, I would feel repulsed about myself. God damn it.
I know, Eirene, you're fine, but
I know,
they do
I
not
know.
feel fine.
What's the
I know.
difficulty of the occult roll?
Difficulty of the cult roll, I will say, let's make it 8.
3 successes with a willpower.
Okay. You want to be extremely careful what you do and say here, considering that what you're offering towards, even if you explicitly outline it, might not be what comes to take the offering.
You understand? Basically, Bishop, what I'm banking on is Ebla is a really old civilization.
It
Right?
is very old, yes.
Solahdrin comes from a society that is probably slightly younger, but still of a similar age. He speaks their language. He speaks Farsi. He can communicate with them. And he's also an expert in history. That's what his academic specialty is. He wants to commune here to gain knowledge. So the offering of the blood is for anyone who is willing to speak.
But
For anyone who's willing to speak. Okay. Madelain, what are you doing?
crap.
What's going on
Oh
there?
well.
So Eirene is muttering to her crucifix. Solahdrin is attempting to reach out to the spirits and commune with them, and Madelain is
Going to hide somewhere.
Yeah. Madelain is being wise here.
Madelain leaps for cover.
Pete, I'm gonna give a weird suggestion here. That might be for you really, really anti-productive.
Madelain is okay. Madelain. What Madelain does is there are still the remains of walls.
I have 2 successes. I have 2 successes on hiding.
Okay. Oh, you're trying to. You're actually outright trying to hide. Okay. I thought you were just trying to find cover.
I mean,
defend yourself.
I thought it was fairly obvious that we were not doing like the sensible things right now, so I'm just following. I'm just following along. Like we're not doing the sensible things. Fair enough. I'm not going to do sensible things.
I legitimately think I am doing the sensible thing.
I mean,
we're all wonderful people.
I don't know.
So. Solahdrin, you partake in your ritual. Takes a few minutes. Obviously, these things can't be rushed. Do you have your sight up? What is going on?
Oh yeah, 100%.
The as you do this, the walls they begin to darken and crack. When you go to look at them, you hear a somewhat you hear the sound of something soaring through the air. But it's not like the sound of an arrow, this very high-pitched sound. It's fairly low pitch. And then you hear a crash as something flies into the side of one of the smaller buildings and just causes it to collapse in on itself. Would you like to roll me perception awareness?
Cool. What difficulty?
And as the house collapses, you see it begin to burn. Whatever flew into it was clearly on fire. Actually falls to flame pretty quickly spirals out of control. But you're not scared by this. In fact, as you look into your fire, as you this little as you cut your blood, you offer the blood to the spirits, but you also light this fire around it. You realize you're not scared of this fire. Your beast doesn't react to it at all.
Mm-hmm. By the way, if it's standard difficulty, that's 2 successes with the Osmax. If it's higher, then it's 1.
Okay. As you look into the fire that begins to spread out across this town, this city, as you look into the fire that you have, this campfire that you have set up, as you look into it, you see an inferno as you pull away. You hear screaming of thousands. You see the burning of what must be dozens of mortal sacrifices, drenched in what can only be described as a pit or a very large well.
Bishop, I'm seeing that particular pit, haven't I? Oh, Nelly. Okay.
You can also roll me intelligence occult to interpret what you have just witnessed.
Yeah, I can. I could actually have enigmas. Would enigmas be better, or is it occult?
I think it is actually occult for your particular merit.
Yes, it is.
Someone has memorized this set of rolls.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Second willpower of the evening. Oh, wow. Hi, Bishop. Tell me of this pit and all of its secrets.
That's 6 successes. That's
That's 7 successes with the willpower, I think.
oh yeah, right.
At first, you question whether this pit is here or somebody else, somewhere else. A pit can't be a person. Well, they could be, but it's neither here nor there. You initially question, is this pit here or is it somewhere else? Because you don't get visions about what was unless it's relevant to the future. You don't really get visions of now because what was now is now in the past. You get visions of the future.
Hi, Bishop. I'm going to ask a really odd question. As I'm looking down at this pit, because I sense I'm looking down at it from like an aerial view.
Kind of. You're looking down into it from a first-person perspective.
Are the buildings on either side of the pit like some of the nice friendly buildings I might know from, say, Edessa? You know, the place I live.
No, you look at this place. You look around. You don't really have full control over how how you see things in this. During this moment, your body just kind of reacts on its own. Your sight kind of allows you to see things, but you can't necessarily have a look around as if you're in a as if to enjoy the view. You don't really get that luxury. But what you with what your limited peripheral vision you can see is you don't think this is Dessa.
Interesting.
No. You think you're here. You think you are where you are right now. You see the well yawn open. That is where your vision ends. And with your 6 successes, with what the limited amount you have seen, because your vision was not particularly clear and it's fairly short, from what you can tell, something very something extremely dangerous is going to take place here. That is going to be here. You don't know when. You don't necessarily know how. But you know it's going to happen. Or it can happen.
The Solahdrin stands and he takes himself up to his full height. And I think it's the spirits of Ebla that have shown me this because they don't want this to happen again. I sense this has happened once and it's going to happen again.
With your 6 successes, you do get the sense of how to say. The way you almost get a sense of cyclical symbology in the vision. It is the pit itself is a perfect circle, and the screams you hear are not just from people there, but their echoes.
Solahdrin
sense of repetition in your ritual.
He looks up towards the sky, and he starts to laugh. Like, I'm not going to do the kind of manic laughter that he does, but it now makes sense to him. He now understands the tablets. They're a key to open something again. That's why she wants them. That makes sense.
Everybody, you see Solahdrin cackling madly off into the night sky.
And to Blade. Because you never know.
When his head snaps back down, he will say in English, or in French rather, because I think that's our lingua franca literally. He will say, somewhere in this town, I don't think far from here, an event took place. Yes, we should find where it was once. I sense there may be answers for us now. A great chasm, a yearning pit, possibly filled in. But we'll know it when we find it. Oh yes, we'll know it.
Madeleine comes out, and she just looks at the two and, stands a little away from Eirene.
Madelain, you want to roll me perception awareness real quick. Solahdrin won't notice this, but Madelain and Eirene, you have the potential to notice this.
What did you say? Perception awareness?
Perception awareness.
Let's do better than my 4 1s, please. Wow, that is better.
Yes, you do better.
That is
you
1,
both
2,
do very well.
Not doing that very
4,
well.
5, or 5 or 6, 7.
7. Okay, we'll start with the 4 successes.
Thank you.
It was already a high margin. Eirene, it's very dark. You're sitting close to the. You're sitting close to the campfire, so you can see a little bit better now. It's still very dark here.
Mm-hmm.
And the something you notice is you do a double take, because when you look around you, you see the rubble, you see the town, you see the city, what remains of it. Much of it is so far gone that it's the ruin is probably much smaller than the city itself. But you look around and it's rubble, it's detritus, it's nothing. It's nothing more than a footnote in history. But then you see a single building standing, and then you look around and you see the palace, and you see a store. You see coins left on the store. You see curtains to the windows of the house. You peer inside, you see a bedside, or the equivalent of one, in that borderline prehistory era. You see what these places used to look like. Then you blink again, and it's just there's nothing there again. Madelain, you got 7 successes. At first, for you, and you have not only that, but you can see very clearly in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, as whatever is dark is bright, and whatever is bright is dark. You see this place. It starts out as small outlines, very noticeable to you, because they comes across as a white line in your vision, like something very bright. And at first, it's just an outline. It's almost like scaffold, some sort of frame. Then it comes into view more clearly. You see these bright houses, these bright stalls, these shops, these roadways. You see the remains of again, these business transactions. You see the remains of a horse cart being driven through the city. You see this place. You hear the voices. You hear the voices. You see the outlines of the people. You see these people. You see You see their carts. You see their stalls. You see their palace, which by modern standards is quaint. But you see all of it. But right off near the palace, just looking down from the steps, are two very black, inky looking individuals. You can kind of make out their forms, but not their faces. You can't see their faces. It's hard to see the faces of everybody walking through this place. They're very bright or they're very dark. It's this kind of shining white or sort of inky, almost tenebrous black. It's very hard to make out their faces. You can't really. It's not. But you can hear them.
Is it a language I recognize?
I need to check your languages real quick.
I do not have Farsi, so maybe not.
This is actually fairly important, so I will double check. Where are your... I think... languages do you have? I'm looking for them. I know you got the default 2. I can't see the other ones.
Languages: Arabic, French, Greek, Malese, and Latin.
What's Malese?
Can you tell me what it is?
So Nikkei, or like the people from Mali.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I see it. No, you do not understand them. But you feel even if you were to, you wouldn't really be able to make up what they're saying. It's just... It's almost an incontrovertible torrent of voices that kind of pour over you.
Madelain will try her best to follow them. To see where they're going.
Solahdrin, one thing you do notice is that fire that was spreading, the building that was struck, it is just fine. It's back to normal. Though it's almost like it was never struck at all.
Solahdrin he's going to follow Madelain when she's moving, but he leans down, he's going to pick up a piece from his fire. He's going to pick up like a burning brand enough to serve as a torch, because I think that something has happened to this fire to make it more like conduity than it normally is, so I'm just going to carry it with me in case.
Yeah, you can take a piece of the fire with you by lighting a twig or a branch, something. You can find something.
Hooray.
There's wood around here somewhere. So yeah, Eirene, you kind of see glimmers of this, but you don't see it in its entirety. But every time you blink, like you blink, and then there's something off again, and then you blink again, it's all back to normal. Then you blink again, and then again, it's like this place seems to come more and more alive every time you look around you.
Okay. Quick question though. Like I don't want to interrupt everything, but does Eirene recognize? Like Eirene has seen a lot of cities from the past by now, or maybe it's just been constantly the same but different phases of it. So does she recognize anything from like former visions and shit? Or dreams? Or
roll me intelligence.
Yeah, because Eirene is known for her great intelligence.
All Solahdrin's thinking as he's running is, wow, there are like 3 tablet pieces that I know of. I can now charge a life boon to everyone who has one, because by God, they're going to fucking want to pay it when they hear what I know.
Unless
you want to fight Mary the Black.
Eirene, you've seen this place before, but you can't remember where from. But you know you have. You know you have.
Okay.
This place is too familiar for you to.
Yeah.
You definitely feel like there's a sense of deja vu here. You can't specifically remember where from, but you have seen this place before.
Okay.
It's kind of hard for you to remember as well. Like the landscape seems so inconsistent for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem to play by any real physical law.
Okay.
I will say this though, Madelain, when you try and exit the building, if you just try and walk out, like how do you walk out? Do you just kind of go through what you're seeing?
No, she's gonna see those two. What she's gonna, well, she doesn't necessarily follow them, but she's gonna pay close attention to where they go and see if there is anything she can determine from it, like if they go to like pick something up or something.
You have to, you actually have to walk around to the doorway, because
then she will do that.
And when you kind of you go to the doorway and you just kind of put your hand against the door frame to kind of just walk out. It feels like it's there. It feels real. It feels physical.
Well, Madelain is gonna open it and follow them.
You do. Again, both of you feel very comfortable around Eirene still. But yes. What do you do? Madelain, you see this place as it once was, in its entirety. It's actually quite grand. You even see the walls. The walls are... this place is quite beautiful in this sort of, in the black and white view that you're looking at it from. There's a sort of, this place is very unique in its outlook. You've never really seen this style of architecture before. It's something that really, everything in this place feels like something that's been lost to time. Eirene again glimmers. And slowly what you're seeing is beginning to resemble Madelain seeing more and more.
Okay.
You're beginning to see many of the buildings now. And even part of the palace.
Palace. Oh fuck. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, check.
You don't hear the voices, the people there. You don't hear any of that. This place is still empty to you.
How many people? Oh, okay, it's still empty. Okay, so I don't see the people. Okay. Do I see a square? Like a square, like a big square that leads from the palace. There's like a way from the palace to the square.
You mean like a town square? Oh, you're in one.
But is this like the biggest one?
Yeah, from what you can see. You don't see the whole place, but it seems very big.
Okay. I think Eirene is gonna go to the midst of the square.
Okay. That is actually where Solahdrin's been doing his thing. And where he's been laughing for about 30 seconds.
Huh. Great. I feel like we're the Three Stooges here. So, what kind of color do the buildings have?
Color. Similar to the cover on the overlay, it's beige.
Sandstones. Okay.
Sandstone, by and large. The palace is a lot more exotic. It's a variety of colours. From sandstone, there's marble pillars, there's obsidian pillars.
Huh.
There's painted tiles, hanging foliage.
Okay. Yeah, it's. And the palace, how close by is it, or how far?
A few minutes away.
Okay.
If you walked. You
Sure.
could run up there in about a minute or less. Particularly if you have celerity, you can get there within a few seconds.
I mean, celerity. Do I look like a freaking toreador?
I'm just going
you
to
don't need
my
to.
celerity, judging you silently. Continue.
I was going to say.
I think Irene is gonna make her way to the palace, because why not?
Okay, Madeleine, you see Eirene heading towards it. You perceive to be the palace. Solahdrin, you see Eirene heading to a large mountain of rubble. Actually, no, you don't, because you have the thing on. So you do actually see her heading towards what could be construed as the palace as well.
Solahdrin, kind of, his eyes dart around. By the way, as these ghosts have become apparent to others, can I see ghosts starting to appear in the Shadowlands?
No, no, you don't see any ghosts.
Huh. So what they're seeing might be memories. That's interesting and disturbing all at once. If in doubt, plot tends to follow if in doubt, plot tends to follow Irene. Follow Irene.
I'm glad to hear that you have so much trust in our goodies.
No, it's also because I feel I may have to drag her half-mutilated body out of something.
Well,
Don't know what you're thinking about.
always good to have a safety net. So, Irene, you begin to walk towards the pass up against a large stairway. Madelain, you see these two figures just kind of clad in, not clad in black, they're just kind of this timbrous blackness. And the reason they stand out is because they literally are a dark spot, and otherwise it's a very bright space to you. Like these buildings in your vision seem to radiate light.
So the opposite.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, yeah, no, they're completely black. They're not radiating light. I'm completely wrong.
Yeah,
It's dark is bright, and yeah, my bad. The sharp is really bright. I've said they. Well, actually, no, that's what I mean. They radiate light.
Yeah,
I was right. They literally radiate light.
the people, the two people.
Yes. Well, the thing is also the people seem to radiate light to you, but apart from these other figures who are black, they don't.
She will see where they go.
Kind of a dark spot in your vision. Here's the thing: one of them doesn't really notice. Notice anything. It's just there. It's these two figures of shadow who seem to just be walking down the stairway, arm in arm. Their voices indistinct but more memorable. Now, the voices are distinct, but you can't understand it. But as Eirene begins to walk up to the pass, and Eirene, when you begin to walk up to this would-be palace, it's only a small set of stairways. There's a small stairway, leads up to a platform, leads up a stairway to another platform, leads up a stairway to the platform which has the palace on it. Small set of steps. But you step forward and then your foot just kind of lands on the steps.
Okay.
It's here, like the steps, physical steps that were not here before.
Oh. Well, wouldn't be the first weird thing.
Yeah. This. Yeah. Because what you perceived here initially was rubble.
Mm-hmm.
But you can stand on these steps. Solahdrin, you see Eirene standing on steps. Madelain, you see Eirene standing on steps.
Solahdrin is going to try and put his own foot on the steps, see if they still exist for him.
Yeah. Which is weird, because you have your sight up. You shouldn't be able to do that.
So we are to visit the past. Madelain will go up to them and begin to approach.
No. Yes and no. This is because 2 points are bleeding into one another. We are neither here, but neither are we there. We are in between both. 2 points connected by a nexus, 2 points dragged together for one purpose, because they are both the pinnacle of the circle. They both form the point in which the circle joins itself whole, like a snake eating its own tail.
When this place was consumed by fire.
No. And yes. This place wasn't consumed by fire. No. And yet it was. This place was consumed by fire because they feared the rot, the cancer, that which had gone into its heart. However, something else ate Ebla. It ate it from the inside out, to many thousands of screams.
Let us just get this over with. And I'm thinking that the three will proceed up the stairs.
To the palace. Also, when we get high enough, Bishop, he wants to look out over the city to try and see if he can find, with his eyes, pinpoint the place where that pit should be. Because if my theory is right, looking at that thing in the Shadowlands should be like looking into the Oblivion itself, or something even darker.
You look around. It's kind of hard to perceive where it might be, because you didn't really get too good of a view of what was around it. But you think if any place was to be used for a well of that magnitude, of that scale, it would either be the palace or the town square. One of the two. They're the only places with the space to do it, unless some buildings were knocked down.
And we've been to the town square. That was where I did my little bonfire. So he is going to nod. His suspicion kind of solidifies. They did this in the palace. Oh my, oh my, oh my.
We're going to go to the palace.
Let's all go to the lobby. Yes.
You enter the palace. Go up to the palace. Again, Eirene, this place feels really familiar to you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, can I make another intelligence check perhaps at this point? I have starting to have an inkling of where I could have found this myself, actually. So I don't know. It's up to you, really. But I think this happened, like Eirene saw this place during a certain dream.
You can make me 2 rolls. No, make me 1 roll, sorry.
Okay.
Just the one.
Which one?
Yeah, just intelligence.
Just intelligence?
6.
Okay.
Oh wow, 3 successes. Now it hits you. Now is when it hits you. When you begin to walk up the stairway, you remember this view.
Mm-hmm.
You remember this place. You remember seeing it not once. It was more than that. First time you encountered it. That was... And that was nearly days after you'd been turned. Had your mind corrupted, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
It was during that time
Huh.
you had to make your choice. But as you look at the palace, you remember seeing this another time as well. You remember when you looked upon a city like this, and you saw Odessa fade under this new or old city. And at the top of this little mount, there was a palace. The doors bellowed black, acrid smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember it fully? Do you remember that was the palace? This is it. This is the place.
Okay. Oh. Mm. I think Irene is just gonna sort of stop. Look around. Okay, how far are the others?
We were all walking up together, so
Yeah, they're probably just walking of a society in front of you. You're kind of
Okay.
tagging behind because you're a neonate. But
Yeah, that's fair.
one thing that also you notice, your crucifix always has a
Yeah.
certain unease it emanates from itself to you, to other people around you, because you are creatures cursed by God. You are the restless dead,
Mm-hmm.
but it feels much weaker here. It doesn't.
Okay.
You're not getting the same sense of unease. You're not
Okay.
getting the sense of force that this thing emanates. It
Interesting.
feels almost insignificant.
Irene is
It feels
gonna.
like a toy. Is what it feels like.
Hmm?
It feels like a toy.
Yeah. So Irene is gonna wait for a few seconds until the others are just a couple of more steps ahead. And she's going to kind of turn around, look around, and is finally gonna very, very softly whisper, "Mother, are you here?"
It was at that moment she realized she fucked up.
I mean, I doubt it, but
it was that moment Solahdrin turns and says, "Luke, I am your mother."
Morgan Freeman spontaneously appears from the shadows.
yes, please. Come on,
No,
guys. There has to be a dramatic
no,
moment.
no. Irene, you don't hear anything, but you feel something. You feel a quiet sense of joy.
Oh, fuck.
And the sense of someone smiling.
Oh, no.
Madelain.
Yeah.
They stood on the steps. One of them walks down. Or both of them walk down. Then one of the figures unlocks arms with the other, stops before Irene. The other figure fades away, bursts into flames, as the other figure just glares at it. And then turns back towards Irene. And it says something. And it smiles.
Madelain stops.
I still can't perceive these figures, can I?
You can't see the figures. You can't see these, quote, ghosts.
Eirene, what just happened? And she looks straight at Eirene as she looks at her.
Lady Madelain, Sir Solahdrin, I think something or someone knows that we're here.
I do too.
Of course it does.
It just smiled at you and said something.
Oh. What did it say?
I do not know. But it seemed happy.
Actually, question. Could Peter hear what it said? Because I can speak the language if he repeats it to me.
It was muffled, right?
It was indistinct. You're not really sure. You can't really... It's a bit different, like repeating something... like a language you don't know. It's kind of like if I were to repeat Japanese, I wouldn't really be able to give you an accurate rendition.
She just said, no. But it does know that we are here.
What did it say to you?
Do not call it actively, please, Eirene.
I've been here before.
Let's move.
No. This is important. When have you set foot in Ebla before, my dear?
Not really, though. In my head, in dreams.
Interesting. Unless I was wrong. I couldn't be wrong. Interesting. Yes. Upwards, onwards. We should make haste. Bishop, really important question. I'm going to look at the moon. A, what type of moon do we have tonight?
What type of moon do we have tonight? Let me find out for you.
It's an Aroon! Moon!
Shut up. Okay, so you have a waning gibbous moon tonight, or you should have. Very close to full. Very close to full.
Is there... Bishop, I can make a roll. Is there anything significant about today from an occult standpoint? Like, are the stars in motion? Are they in light? Is there anything odd about tonight?
I'll give this one for you for free. No, not so much as you're aware of, but you're pretty certain that there's nothing significant astrologically. No. Now I say you should have a waning gibbous moon. Instead, you have a new moon. There is no moon in the sky.
Oh, that's fucking bad. Okay, but yeah, Solahdrin will turn. He puts his hood up over his head, so like he covers his head with his hood, and we are going to walk up into this bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk into.
Actually, I phrased that he's going to let Madelain walk into the bitch first.
Oh, my hero!
Thank you.
Oh, I love you, Pete.
All right, Madelain, you walk in. You walk into this palace, and this place feels the most changed. You don't have any point of reference for this place, like you haven't seen this place before. But you very much have a sense that this place probably wouldn't look like this if it were naturally built by humans, because this is a very odd sense of taste.
Mm-hmm.
So possible that like it was supposed to be this way, but more than likely not, because this place is this place is very, very bright to you. But the colors of this room, they're largely it's black and red and orange. In some places, it looks very clean, very elegant, almost something a tourist would appreciate. In other places, it's clear parts of the floor and the walls have been charred. Parts of floors have been ripped open. The walls chipped to pieces. Like, it looks like a part of it look positively fantastical, like clearly supernatural, place that does not exist in a world like our own, at least not in its styling. And then there are other parts of it that look like it's been that looks like it's just been destroyed or damaged. Not really destroyed, damaged. Like, it's almost as if someone had put their hands, like it's almost as if someone had like just dented the wall with a fist to it, or had literally clawed the wall with their hands. Not with actual claws, just their hands.
The hole, is there like multiple holes or just one hole in the floor?
It's more like the tiling's been ripped up. The floor itself should fine stable. Like there's stone beneath it. There's stone beneath the tiling.
Oh, okay.
Stone's damaged with the tiling, but it's stable.
There is no hole, no pit, no nothing.
There isn't a pit or a hole, no. This place also has torchlight. You can tell because it's a wispy. It's a wispy black motion. When you see this sort of wispy blackness, that's basically how fire looks to you in this form. Rather than looking kind of bright and yellow and orange, it's dark grey and black and tenebrous.
Madelain is going to quickly look over the place. But if there's just, like, it just looks odd, she's going to see if she can proceed further into this place.
You look around, and there are a few entryways off to various other places within the palace. But before you go in there, you notice something. Also, do you look back to Eirene during all this?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that figure's following her around. It's just standing there. It's just whispering in her ear, smiling affectionately. It looks something like this, not exactly, but this is kind of how indistinct it is.
Oh, sweet Jesus, can I kill it? Can I kill
I have a supernatural sparkler, yay!
No.
Or not.
If it helps, my running plan, if we find the pit, is to throw Eirene and her true faith cross down it and see what happens.
Yay! I'm so happy!
Shut up. That is how indistinct it is. It does have eyes. You do see its eyes. They're sort of they're an eerie looking yellow.
That's made of nightmare.
Naturally. And
You said I noticed something else? Or is this the thing
you do notice that. And you also notice that it's looking at Eirene, it's looking into the palace. It's just got his hands on her shoulders. And then it looks at you, Madelain.
Oh, fuck.
And then it tilts its head. And it sees her eyes widen. And it smiles.
Just to be helpful, seeing Madeline's eyes visibly widen, someone can take one large step to the left.
But
it's all conscious, like zip.
Yeah, staying with like staying in the 7-meter radius.
It gestures in front of you.
Madeline's not going to move closer. It's not going to move towards where it gestures.
Do you look at it? Do you look at the space?
I was going to say, Bishop, I'm continuing to walk. I'm oblivious.
Oh, well. I'll get to you in a very brief moment. You see Madeleine look back and she looks somewhat panicked. Yeah, Madeleine, do you look at the space?
Yes.
You see something on the floor. Let me find it for you.
I have an idea of what it is, but...
You see one of these?
Yeah.
Is it the same as the others?
Can you read it?
No.
Hi.
But does it look like the one one or two I've seen?
The language appears to be the same, yes. And it is made of the same substance. Clay, from what you can see. Before we get to Solahdrin, what is Eirene doing? Is she just kind of stopped?
I mean, she would just have followed Madelain, I guess.
You feel a sense of welcoming. You feel rather cozy. It's almost as if you're coming in from the cold, coming home after a long, long day or night in your case.
Okay.
You feel a sense of joy and
Madeleine is just going to look at Eirene and she's going to say, Eirene, this is the moment, one of the moments that you must prove yourself to yourself.
You feel
whatever it is telling you, do not listen to it. Whatever it is making you feel, if anything, resist it. Looks down at the tablet. Looks up at it. Does the tablet appear to be like normal physically, or is it the same like ethereal as everything else?
Nothing here seems ethereal anymore. Hearing the conversation, because obviously all specs is on, someone stops and he turns. And he kind of, his head kind of bops to the side. Kind of,
yeah, you see the tablet also. But you're about to enter another hall. All the doors are, well, they're just kind of halls. They don't really have doors.
Seeing the tablet, he stops because obviously this is what he came here for. So he walks forward, and Bishop, I can read what's on this.
Yes, you can. Let me find you the thing. Before I give you this, does anybody react? And Eirene, how do you react to Madelain's words? As you hear a sweet, familiar voice. Welcome home, my daughter.
She will not speak out loud because, but she'll just say in her mind, like, I've listened to you once. I'm not going to listen to you again.
Why did you ever stop?
Because you don't need a daughter, and I don't need a mother. You need a victim. And I don't want to be that. I'm not going to be anyone's victim.
You sense her smiling again. Feels a lot more foreboding, predatory.
If we move this thing, we will have to do it without touching it.
You don't believe that.
I'm personally more interested in the battle that's currently being waged for the soul of Miss Eirene. But if you're interested on the tablet, then by all means, please feel free.
I think you've always wanted to be a victim.
Madelain is going to try and see if she can rip off some of the floor or like stone. And what she's going to attempt to do is to have the stone under the clay tablet so she can lift it, but not in any way touch the clay tablet.
You need to find a good grip for that.
Perception investigation? Or
no, I'll just say if you use potence to just beat your fist into the floor, you can eventually, and your fortitude, so your body can actually withstand that sort of punishment.
Yeah, that's what she's going to do. She's going to, you'll see Madelain begin to hammer out part of this and just begin to get somewhere where she can actually lift this tablet, but she's making very much sure that she's not touching this thing.
But the voice just says, you've always loved being saved. Being whisked away. I think you can't get enough of being a victim.
Chris?
Solahdrin. Oh, sorry, continue.
Chris? As Madelain has begun, and as she does this, she's just going to stop, and she's going to, you will hear Madelain sing to herself.
Okay.
And she's going to have a very good look at Eirene.
Also, from this point on, one at a time.
Right.
Solahdrin kind of walks to Matt. He walks over to Eirene, and because he can see he can't see the figure, but he can see the fact that Eirene is kind of turmoiled because that's kind of probably written on her face, and says, "Interesting. So, I'm curious. You're Eirene Agiris? Yes. I didn't realize that Eirene Agiris was a slave. And was I wrong?"
Well, sorry, yeah, only Eirene can hear what is being said.
I know, but he's looking at her because he can see that something is trying to fuck with her mentally, so she's in a lot of mental anguish. So he's asking, are you a slave? He has no context for what is being said to her at all. He's asking her, are you a slave?
You are very much a slave, I think. It's a shame. I don't like slaves.
Are you going to answer me?
I am not.
Good. That is an excellent answer. After all, when it is that one grovels on one's knees, they can never really get the dirt off, can they? And what would have you grovel on your knees? Well, just wants to keep you small and filthy.
I don't grovel.
Good.
I don't need a mother.
No, you just wanted a husband.
Chris, I have 2 successes on Cradle Song.
Okay.
Do I see any sort of bond between Eirene and this thing?
No. You see a bond between the tablet and this thing.
Ah.
Now, what sort of husband? Blood bonds.
We need to move.
That's doesn't strike me as very loving.
It is her.
It's a very treasonous relationship, I think. I would know.
Mother betrays her daughter.
I never betrayed you.
Sacrifice her. You never were any of these things. You never were loving or caring.
No, that is true. But I do care about
You just needed someone
liberties.
gullible enough. Liberties? You took all my liberties. You gave me nothing. You didn't give me my free will.
You
You
didn't.
didn't set me free.
You didn't see things through. You were nothing more than a blood puppet when I found you. You were a slave. You're still a slave. You still follow everybody's little orders. Whatever the court needs you to do. Even...
Right. You don't know.
And even when you do follow through, you've been punished more times than rewarded.
I'm just here to do what's right. And I will destroy you.
What is right, Eirene?
Sister Madelain, you said that the creature is here, yes? In some form or another.
Yes.
Interesting.
It is
Chris.
looking at Eirene. It looked at me before.
All right. Bishop, I'm going to have, because I've read the tablet piece, so whenever you have the time to send me what it says, that'd be gravy. He's going to scroll it down. But he's going to walk over, he's going to say, very well then, I'll give it something to truly look at, shall I? And Bishop, I am going to reach up and I smash the glass vial on the tablet. The one that's filled with water from the sacred fountain of McFuck you. Smash.
Oh shit! Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay. Ooh. When you approach this
Look at
tablet,
this.
when you approach this tablet, it's almost like it's beating like a heart. That's what it feels like. Almost like it's pumping blood. But you smash the vial over it. And it's a good thing you guys prepared, I guess.
Did we?
Yes. Everybody take 3 aggravated damage, difficulty 9 to soak.
Hooray!
There's a massive gout of flame rips across the landscape of the palace room and out of it.
And by the way, you have 5 more dice.
Yes, you do, and none of you need roll for Rodtrek.
Yay! So that is...
I actually soak.
You soak 2.
9?
Yeah, remember, ones don't take away on soak rolls.
I soak all of the damage.
You're taking 3 ag, not 2. So you soak 2, so you take 1. You take 1 ag.
Hang on, I've completely cocked up that roll. Give me a second, because I meant to roll armor, and I
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can apply your armor to this roll because it's occurring from outside your body.
It's armor, fortitude, and then the +5, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is really nice.
Yay!
Oh wow! So Solahdrin, you took all of it like an absolute, unnaturally so. Like you like your body, because it pierces through much of your armor. Like you can feel the heat just way through your armor. This flame is very, very strong, and you're at the epicenter of it. But you don't care nearly as much. You don't even feel any fear from your beast. It doesn't. It's not like, and it's not like it even reacts. You don't have to suppress it. It's not like you have this iron resolve. It just doesn't awaken in response to fire. Eirene, you take an egg. You take 2 eggs, sorry. And
2? Wow.
Madelain takes.
How much do we have to soak?
You had to soak.
Oh wait, it was Div 9.
You had to
Yeah.
soak 3 at Div 9. So,
Yeah.
I take 1.
You take 1. So your protections aren't quite enough to entirely protect you apart from Solahdrin, who is just completely unfazed. He literally smashes the vial of holy water over it. It erupts into flame. The palace and the outside space is covered in flame for all but 5 seconds. It's almost like it combusts, but then immediately fades away. You know what I mean? Like it burns through all of its fuel instantly. It's a bit like lighting ethanol on fire. Ethanol, you burn through ethanol very quickly. Ethanol gets burned through pretty fast. It's kind of like that. It spontaneously combusts, and all is normal again. And the beating that you felt, the sort of just sort of forceful, maleficent, almost feral, hateful energy of this object temporarily abides. But you can still feel a bit of it there. It still exerts part of itself. Can't get rid of it entirely.
Madelain just looks at Solahdrin and she just says, "The next time, could you please tell me before you do something like that?"
In my defense, I had no idea it was going to combust. However, he looks around at Maggie.
Well, we know now. We need to go.
Is the figure still there?
Eirene,
Yes.
tell your friend I'm not so easily baited. But you were smart. I'll give him this. And I'm proud of you. You stand up to me now. It's a shame it's in the name of servitude.
Madelain is going to lift the rock that the clay tablet is on and begin to get it outside.
Eirene, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Who gave you the right to kill me?
You are evil.
So you wish to kill me because you perceive me to be evil?
I will do the bidding of the Lord. I will protect humans and their own kind.
Did the Lord give you the right to kill me? Can I recall him telling you as such?
I may not be the right person to kill you, but I'll make sure that I will at least have a say in it, yes. I don't wish to kill you. You can turn away from evil. That is your choice. But if you can't, then yes, we will kill you.
He sense a sort of smile. It's a bit wry.
Why don't you ask it as we're walking, because clearly she's still in rapture by the conversation, why don't you ask about why my Kyle could never love her?
Damn!
Oh God!
Words,
Oh God!
man.
You're making me look up the thing. Why?
Because I'm gonna twist this bitch. I'm gonna twist a knife in it. By God,
Why do you wish to die, Solahdrin?
Madelain
God damn it!
stone with it
I choose to point out,
moving, but hopefully she's far away from Solahdrin. Hopefully.
I choose to point out that in the interim period, he has found somewhere to lean and is being 80s cool guy Solahdrin with his sass.
Oh God! No! Eirene.
Yeah.
Truth is, no one gave you the right to kill me but yourself. The same as no one gave me the right to do to you what I did. The only rights we possess... The only rights we possess are the ones we take for ourselves.
And by doing what you did to me, you have signed your own fate. Which means you'll either kill me or will be killed by me.
So you're standing up to me not out of courage but sheer arrogance, that is. Maybe I did overestimate you.
I am a La Sombra.
Not a Ventru. The Ventru are the arrogant ones. You're the pragmatic ones. Not pragmatic enough, though.
I do this because I feel this is the right thing to do. Just like undoubtedly you will feel the same way.
This is neither right nor wrong. It is.
And why are you doing this? What are your plans?
This is simply tying up loose ends. I already have what I want. This is merely closing the book.
Then what do you have? Life is a ghost? Being hated and feared by everything and everyone on this earth?
Could the same not be said of all Cainites?
No.
Which of your claims could be levied towards you as well? After all, you claim to be righteous, but is there not that one time where you betrayed the princedom itself?
No.
Yes, you did.
No.
Eirene, you can't hide from your own head.
There may have been one time I ignored an order. That did not mean that I betrayed the princedom.
So you can ignore the law when it suits you. Suits
I
your
was
morality.
punished for it, and I accepted the punishments.
But you would have done it again.
Yes.
Then the punishment is irrelevant.
No, because I agree, by accepting the punishment, I agree that punishment was needed.
And yet you're still as validated as you ever were. This is why I don't bother with such a hypocritical paradigm.
You'd rather just kill everyone.
I want to kill everyone, Irene.
Then what do you want?
To enjoy the rest of my life.
How?
However I want. Remember what I said. The only rights we have are the ones we give ourselves. There are no laws for us, and there is no place for us in this world. There was. There will be.
You killed Michael.
Yes.
She also loved him.
Why?
She's gonna do a thing. She's out about Solahdrin now.
Oh, it's fine. I accept this.
God.
I
Like...
life choices. I'm getting like daimonian out the ass. This is gonna be today.
Oh,
no.
It's okay, Mission. Hit me with your rhythm stick. I do deserve it. I'm being a bitch.
Oh. A second. All right. What's your road, sir?
Wrote a set, sir.
What's your rating?
I think it's 6.
Okay, this is gonna suck.
That's fine. However, actually, can I make a clarification? Because this could get pretty interesting. In what form is she here? I'm going to assume, now this is my assumption, I'm going to assume she's here under obfuscate. Because it's the only thing that would make sense. I mean, basically people are seeing shadowy specters of her, because if she was here under astral form, we could see her, because you can't really not be seen if you can perceive the astral, which is what Auspex does. And if she actively uses an offensive discipline against me, it will probably break the obfuscate. So in the event of that, we will have to roll initiative unless I am dead or incapable.
In astral, the weird thing is, it doesn't really tell you in all specs when you can perceive astral. It only tells you that you can enter it. So I've always kind of ran it on when you can enter astral, you can perceive it. Or if you have aura perception, you can see astral forms if you're actively using it.
I was going to say, because like I've had my Auspex running for like since the beginning of the scene, and there has been the prompt to say you can check for things.
Yeah.
So if she's here in the astral form, that's fine. A prompt or something like I would have liked to have known, but it's entirely fine.
Of course, if she has high enough obfuscate, she can just hide her astral form. Because she can blank out her aura.
That's entirely valid. So yeah, hit me with your rhythm stick.
Oh my god. Okay.
because I've got an idea what she's going to do. And yes, it's going to suck.
Is it the fourth one in?
It's probably Demonian 4, yeah, it's the curse.
No, that's 5.
That's 5. 4 is
Solahdrin Masia or whatever it's called.
4 is Psychomachia, which is no. No, she's doing something a bit worse.
Yeah.
A bit disproportionate, but I mean,
just roll the dice. I'm fine with it. Don't worry about it.
It's poking the dragon, so we'll see.
If she botches, this will be the funniest thing known to man.
Good lord.
How many dice does she have?
Many, much.
Yeah.
Okay, Solahdrin.
Yaha.
For 5 turns. You are plagued with the pain of the sun.
Ow.
As
Jesus.
all of you hear these words. Now, fortunately, you are not a normal Setite, so you don't have that weakness.
I don't. Oh, that would have been nasty.
Oh, you'd be dead. You will hear these words screaming in your minds. Like this one word, this name screaming in your mind as this happens to you. None of you actually feel anything, but Solahdrin does.
I feel a lot of things.
You feel a lot of things, so what's going to happen to you? I need to check the rules. I'm sorry that roll took so long.
Sorry about it.
You will take... Okay, you'll take 2 levels of aggravated damage for each turn.
Okay.
And I'm just double checking.
What road is being used, if you don't mind, or what distance being used? I just want to read it to make doubly sure myself.
I shall tell you after the fact. Okay, and I think it's a diff 10 to soak. This is nasty. Because it's at noon. It's treated as if you're out at literally the brightest time of day. So that is... Yeah, that is unfortunately soak diff 10. But it's only 2 ag, it could be higher. You gotta soak it for 5 turns.
My life.
You all have are immune to rot Shrek, so you don't have to roll that.
Cool. So the ritual I'm currently under will still affect this, or no?
That's for fire, unfortunately.
That's for fire, so this does not help you here. You have can apply your armor. You can apply your... Well, you apply your fortitude automatically, but I will allow you to apply your armor for this, which is 5 extra dice anyways. You only need to get 2 successes, and 1s do not take away.
So is this 2 ag damage per turn, meaning 10 ag damage over the course, or is it just 2?
Yes, it's 2 ag damage over the course of 5 turns. So over the next 30 to 60 seconds, everybody will see Solahdrin begin to glow white hot, and will begin to burn.
Jesus.
Remember, you can also spend blood and willpower to heal aggravated damage.
Yeah, I'm going to do that on the second turn. I'll spend the willpower, and it's 5 blood to heal aggravated damage.
Yeah, so you'll have to heal it over the course of like multiple turns, but you can do that as
Yeah,
long as
so
the willpower is spent for it. Well,
Cool,
the first
yeah.
one you don't have to, but the second time you do, you'll have to spend willpower. So the first one's basically free.
Yeah, because at the moment he's taken. Yeah, so he'll spend the blood and he'll spend the blood, and over 2 turns he'll heal 1. So he's currently sitting. Yeah.
Oh, you are not getting lucky on these rolls. Don't you have fortitude?
Chris?
That's in it, I think.
No, but you have armor as well. You're only rolling 5 dice.
Oh, okay. I'll make some more rolls. Sorry, what were you going to say, Saskia? Continue on.
Oh, I mean, it's. I don't want to interrupt. But if if Irene kind of sees Solahdrin going down, she will kind of shout, "What are you doing? Stop that!"
Oh, you do soak that one.
Oh yeah, that one you take like a champ. Good job.
That was way too many dice. Let's just negate that roll. Sorry, I re-rolled the wrong pool.
Yeah, that's fine. The voice in your head says, "Why?"
Because I'm asking it.
So you want to kill me?
Fine. Leave him alone, and I won't kill you.
You can kill me anyway.
All right. So with all that done, I've spent 10 blood to heal 2. I have soaked, and I've soaked an additional. I've soaked an additional 2, which means Solahdrin is alive on 1 level of health, and it's currently kind of smoldering on the floor in the fetal position.
Yeah. Yeah. As Eirene and the figure are still talking, so it's possible if Eirene manages to convince her, you won't take the last 2 levels of damage. But yes, the figure just goes, "You couldn't kill me anyway."
I could have tried. I could have at least made it rather difficult for you.
No, you are trivial. You are.
Then why are you talking to me? I'm not trivial. If I was, you would simply ignore me.
That's not true. I talk to many trivial entities in my life.
Really? Can I fucking pee and eat this bitch?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't believe one fuck of that. Just put enough effort in this to make it like, you know.
I can converse with whoever I wish. Trivial or otherwise.
Wow, I got 4 successes on a P&E roll on that.
She doesn't seem to give it much thought either way.
And if we are all so trivial here, why would you bother with him?
He angered me.
He might have annoyed you, but I doubt he would have angered you if he truly is so insignificant. So it must have hurted you somehow.
And if it did, well... Madelain, you see it peer over at Solahdrin a little bit, just over, just kind of looks at the side of Eirene. Oh, he is still alive. Well, I have to give him credit. He has the will to live.
Don't hurt him anymore.
Why?
Because I'm asking it of you.
So?
Do not make any bargains with him.
I've asked many things of many people in my time, Eirene.
What is it that you want?
Just curious as to why you were here, to be honest. I mean, as you've... Well, that one, for Madelain, when she says... Well, she seems to bobble her head towards Solahdrin. She seems to be making more human gestures now. The figure's becoming a bit clearer to you.
Oh, shit.
That one's clearly figured out why I care about this place. Perhaps not for the reasons he thinks, but one doesn't need to understand to see the patterns in things. Just ask the Markavians. Oh. Or I could just ask you.
Who got sacrificed here first?
Does it matter?
Yes.
Why?
Just a thing. Madelain is going to try and help Solahdrin, just lift him up, put him over her shoulder, and still carry the thing with it and just get away from this. And she's going to say Eirene to say, like, we should move.
I am made of crispy.
Yeah,
Aww.
that's like, you're probably not too fast right now, so Madelain is, well, essentially putting you on her shoulder, so.
Yeah. Irene's just gonna try and buy you guys some time.
Yeah, Madelain is beginning to head out and just go away.
Crispy fries?
And the rock with the tablet on top.
A rock with a tablet on top.
Yeah, she's not touching that shit.
The figure just waves at you, Madelain, as you walk by it.
She tries her best to ignore it.
Barging into my home and taking what you please.
I was just curious.
Are you not breaking my domain?
I am rather an expert at that.
True. I'm curious, yes. You did some things. Drew a lot of attention.
What did I do that drew your attention? Or
All you have to do is be here, considering what you've got on you.
I haven't got anything on me. Oh.
As for the other one, well,
But that wasn't my question.
This is a very invasive individual. Again, I'd respect that if it weren't in the name of servitude. Must you all be slaves? It's so terribly tedious.
Were you the one who got sacrificed here first? On the altar?
Oh, so ignorant.
I'm asking.
Why do you waste your time begging for guidance? Think for yourself. Show some initiative. Take control of your life. Eirene, if I wished to burn this city to the ground, I would have done so years ago.
This city or Odessa?
The one you came from. This city burned to the ground much longer ago.
Yeah. Why are you in that city? You're hiding.
Hiding, lounging. Bit of both, really. At this point, Madelain's walked all the way down the stairs.
Yeah.
She's fair distance.
Messiah will find you.
A few years ago, he was a threat to me, not anymore.
Why not anymore? What has changed over the years?
A lot has changed. A lot has changed, Irene.
If we're so insignificant to you, why wouldn't you give me the answers? What does it matter?
Because it's my story and not yours. Why should I be obligated to answer you? You act as if you are entitled to answers.
If it can't hurt for us to know them, what's the point of hiding them?
Who said that?
Which one?
Eirene.
Yes. Mary?
You should join your friends.
Or else?
I'll kill them.
You wouldn't.
Of course I could.
I know you could, but you wouldn't.
Why not? I already have incentive enough to kill one.
Because you wouldn't win anything from it.
For the record, Essie's been carried away.
Oh no, I definitely.
She may have put me on. She may have put me under the rays of the sun, but I got off several cutting remarks that I feel went straight to the quick. Considering it's a doll.
'Tis only a flesh wound, says the knight in black. I already have incentive enough to kill one.
But it's interesting that the longer I stay, the more annoyed at me you get. Maybe I should stay longer here.
You're entertaining. Please do stay. This place was, well, so much of it has changed to suit you. I'd be more than happy to welcome you here. It's been a long time. I think we could have a lot of fun here.
I doubt that.
Both know that's not true.
Yeah, I mean, we'll start to follow Madelain.
Yeah, who seems to be hurrying for some reason?
Wonder why that is.
Yeah, it's weird.
As you go.
Oh, by the way, as we leave, I will wrap us in my obfuscate because I can.
You can. As you go.
Twitch.
Eirene.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye. She just waves at you.
Well, I see her now.
You see her now. All of you see her now. She waves.
I want to pray for
remarks.
fucking destruction. Actually thinking about attacking her now. God damn it. Now I can see her. I wish common sense was a thing you could roll.
Well, I can't. And your common sense says, fuck no!
Hi guys, I'm the combat one, and after I've been literally fucked, literally, to the point of near death. I have been nearly death fucked. So yeah,
She literally yelled at you and you almost died.
Yep.
I got skull fucked by the nasty. Yeah,
Go
definitely.
on, enjoy your time with your friends or with me. The choice is always yours, and a choice is something I'm always happy to give. So make it.
Now?
She just looks at you.
Then yeah, Irene will walk away.
I'm going to miss you, Eirene. I really am.
I don't believe you.
You're free not to.
Good.
She just kind of looks up. She's going to walk away.
I wouldn't be afraid for
really
lightning
just-
bolts.
Sorry.
No, it's like as you
Not
begin
done.
to head away and you see Madelain has
No,
paused
Pete.
to look after
Pete.
you.
Pete, not done.
Oh, sorry.
It's just a shame it's all in the name of being a servant. She closes her
What?
eyes and looks. Pardon?
So tempted to scream back that in her own writing she called herself a willing slave of Michael. So tempted that she'd kill me. So tempted. No.
We all know what the
Nope.
result of this will be. It'll be a TPK. Stop.
I didn't even understand what you said, so
I should
yeah.
just say, a shame all of it is still in the name of being a servant.
We're always servants of something.
That's a lie. I'm free. I made sure of
No,
that.
you're not.
Okay. Okay, now she does move. And Eirene, you stop moving.
Okay.
She literally freezes you in place. You're not entirely sure how. Yeah. Shit. A long time ago, I was a slave to someone. Not anymore. Do not insult me by calling me a servant now. I'm outside your petty lineages. The constructs they build. You, however, are just a nail. And if you don't get hammered out by me, it will be them.
There's always something or someone that is more powerful than we are.
It's not about power, Eirene.
It is. I cannot move only because you're stronger than I am.
Yes,
I
but I could
know.
be free regardless of whether I had power or not. I just simply seized what I needed to be free.
Freedom. It's a myth.
The talk of cowards. And those too afraid to admit that they're wrong. I suppose you're right. I won't miss you. I'm just going to miss what you could have been. Go, bind yourself to your prince, to your sire.
I've made a choice between helping myself or helping others.
You don't make choices. Freedom is a myth. You said it yourself.
Mm.
Your choices are determined by others. Like hers, or Oryx, or the prince. And
Or
it's
yours.
pathetic. Or mine.
After all, we all choose whom we follow, what path we follow. You are the slave of your own whims. That's worse than a Malkavian.
A slave to oneself, that's rather paradoxical statement. Whatever helps you sleep during the daylight.
Well, at least that's no longer you.
And with that, she just kind of casually walks up to you and pushes you off the stairs.
Okay.
She vanishes from view. I'm going to roll 10 lethal dice.
Okay.
I'll take 6 lethal.
Okay.
Oof.
I mean, lethal we can soak with our own stamina as well, right?
You can soak your stamina, your fortitude, but only half your armor rating applies when it comes to fall damage.
Check.
So only half of it.
The +5 bonus from Madelain doesn't count, right?
That's only be fire.
Check. Thought as much. Just wanted to know for sure. 4, 3, 6. Alright. One, 2, 3 soaked. So I take 3. Yeah.
Okay, soak free. Your body crashes against the ground, and you feel your arms, your skull splinter, and your arm break from the weight. Your supernatural protections aren't enough to stop the pain, but they do prevent you from dying outright. Your body still holds itself together.
Yay. Yay, body.
Well, a normal mortal would have certainly died from the fall. And Mary simply looks on from the stairway. Makes an open gesture of her hands. And disappears. Madelain, you can still see the bond between the tablet and and Mary.
Yeah, who I know. Yeah.
But you, the thread, the connection, it frays. You don't know where it goes. You don't know where Mary is.
If it helps, they say any battlefield you can be carried away from.
Yeah. But Madelain is going to stop at some point and she's going to look back and hope that Eirene comes. And I'm guessing Eirene is going to limp out and just say, I'm okay. Something like that.
It's but a scratch.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
So many knights clad in black.
Right?
A veritable army of them.
Eirene will look at the tablet and says, "Why did you throw water on it, Solahdrin?"
I threw holy water on it. Well, water from the fountain.
He was hoping that it would destroy it, but it does not seem to matter too much.
No, it does.
But
you misunderstand. What I had was not sufficient. I still think if there had been more of volume, it would have shattered the tablet and shattered the bond. However, children, would you put me down, please? Thank you.
She does.
He will kind of sit on the ground, cross-legged for a second. Like, this is when we're outside of the city boundaries of Ebla, like a couple of 100 meters outside.
You're at 6 levels of wound penalties, right?
I am made of pain and sadness, yes.
Yeah, moving sucks right now. You can crawl, you can't even walk.
I'm sitting currently.
You are sitting. You can sit, kind of. It still hurts.
Yes, life is pain at the moment. I get that. But basically, Bishop, he is going to ask Madelain to put down the tablet shroud, and I'm going to read it to them.
Fine, but I will still, to make my plan, I will still take this one somewhere where no one will be able to get it.
Then your intention is to leave us now, tonight?
No. I will see you back to Edessa. I will see Eirene back to Edessa. And I will leave once you are close enough and well enough close to the city.
I will have you informed Prince Ulrich and Primogen. What's the name of the seneschal?
Seneschal Antoon.
And then have you informed Prince Ulrich and Seneschal Antu as to your decision?
Antoon.
I will make sure that the decision is that I notify them.
Madelain.
Yes.
We've had a conversation about this before. I don't think you're doing the right thing.
I'm inclined to disagree. I now have an idea what her grand scale plan is, and keeping these things apart is pivotal. Even if she can provide only a temporary road stumbling block, that would be the correct term, but then it would be valuable because it exists.
You said you didn't have enough power in the water itself, right?
No, in the water I had with me. The fountain, I still believe, could unmake one of these tablets.
Yes.
So you saw the reaction from a simple vial. Imagine what would happen if one of those pitched into Abraham's fountain.
Within the city walls, I think that might be slightly problematic.
But the problem is that
the water is not the only thing that we brought.
Your cross would be shattered, but you're free to try it if you'd like.
I do not believe we should do this now. If any reaction comes like before, I do not believe any of us would like that at this current moment.
No.
That's why the two of you would need to be at well enough distance.
I am not going to let you risk getting burned to a pile of dust and then having to tell Ulrich what happened. We will do this at a later time when you are better. Well, when both of you are better. She points at both of them. You are very hurt and you need to rest and you need to feed. That will be the first priority. Okay?
Ultimately, let me read so that at least we may have the next piece of the story, because these are more than just bits of patch. These are more than just bits of stone with a soul wrapped up in them. These are the diaries of Mary the Black. They tell a story that I think more than anything she wants us to know, or else she would not have let us leave with it. She wants to know she wants people to know what happened to her, or part of her still does. With that, he looks down at the tablet, Chris, and he's going to recite what's on it.
Chris did a BRB.
No.
So, yeah.
Well, in that case, we can continue our argument.
I will. She looks at Solahdrin and Eirene. Are the both of you? Would you be well enough to travel to Edessa yourselves?
Ultimately, I am fairly able to even sit up straight. So, I will require, as you said, once we get back to the caravans, within a day or so, I will be functional. But not much more. I will require at least a good week's recuperation before I am back to myself. That said, he contemplates, he taps his finger against his chin, thinking, he'll say, ultimately, the information on this tablet is of value, which is why I'm going to recount the story to both of you, and then I'm going to write it down so that we can at least, I have been keeping the writings together, so I at least have a chronological story to go with, to move forward with. But I believe that your idea to take this tablet into hiding is the best feasible idea for now, particularly if you can go physically far distant from this place, leave behind and go to the scatter, just be scattered to one of the winds and go as far in that direction as there goes.
Quite so.
But ultimately, we were playthings this evening. We were playthings. We only lived because she let us live.
Madelain just goes over to Solahdrin, gets down on her knees, just looks at him in his fairly charged state.
Mm-hmm.
And she just looks at him and just smiles. For all your... for all that antagonizes, well, her and others, may I congratulate you. You have a strength. You have a strength in yourself. You are able to survive what few would be able to, as it seems. This is worthy of much respect, and I wish to make that clear to you.
Ultimately, you were the individual with the soundest head this evening, Sister Madelain, and when it is that time is measured by individuals who manage to survive the deeds. Sometimes deeds are great, however, ultimately they have a price. It is those who are able to pay the price and still walk away, as I am only able to because of you in this situation, that, how would one say, is of value. So I owe you much this evening, and I will repay much if given the opportunity to do so. But for the time being, I have to say, support your idea that these tablets should not be allowed to be brought together, because I have a vague idea what will happen in the event that takes place. And you spoke, Lady Agiris, about sacrifice. I didn't hear the other side of the conversation, but you spoke of sacrifice, yes?
Yes.
There was no sacrifice. That is wrong. What they did of their own volition. They sacrificed others. There was no victim here that is named now Mary the Black. Mary the Black took thousands of lives, the people of Ebla, herself and another, I sense. and in that moment did such foul acts as to make the earth itself cry and bear witness as it rent itself asunder.
That still doesn't mean that she cannot have been sacrificed on some sort of altar. I know. I understand your words and I believe them, don't worry. But I've seen this city before in a dream. There was an altar, there was a sacrifice. I was just wondering if she had a part to play in it that I hadn't seen yet.
Let me give you a point of clarification. In the tablets written by Mary the Black, she spoke of her undying love, her obsession, her need for the entity known as Michael Beshma, the Patriarch of Constantinople. She needed him as the sun became the moon, truest love bound in blood or bound in truest sentiment. I believe what she did here was rage at the fact that he left her and she could no longer have him. So she took the power for her own so that she could make him eternally hers in one manner or another. However, unfortunately, the patriarch died in Constantinople when the Hagia Sophia burned and his body was never found.
I must have been mistaken then. I must have not seen wrong.
I'm not saying that you are inherently incorrect. I am saying more so the fact that you are trying to see good in something that is born from fitful love and obsession, that was not born from anything pure. Because I assure you, what it was they sacrificed to in that darkness was there was nothing pure that could come from that inky dark, that could have come from the yawning chasm of screams and souls.
I understand.
It is not a crime to wish to see the good. However, we must also accept the fact that sometimes the good can be eclipsed by the ill.
I was merely trying to make sense of the things that I saw.
I will go to the prince in Edessa, and I will warn her, because I now know why it is these tablets are necessary. I understand what is to come, because it has already happened, and just like the snake that eats its own tail, tonight we saw Ebla as it was, and as Ebla will be again. That is what she wants, more than words can say.
Well, I must say that we still have our work cut out for us. But as soon as possible, I will, well, when I am certain that the two of you are well enough, I shall go on my way, hide this, and then sink into torpor if need be. And as an out-of-character note, Madelain will be around and help Solahdrin to one of the carriages, and we'll also hear the translation of the page, but the player has to go to bed now. So
no worries, dude.
Oh, and then
I said,
obviously.
And I think
no, we're gonna have a read up of the tablet.
Yep, that will be sent to Solahdrin in his BB, and then he can post it to you. But other than that, I think this is a good place to end this scene. Is we'll all return to Edessa after, well, at least for one of you, a near-death experience.
super crispy Solahdrin, super crispy.
thank you, classifying. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time.